Hey, we're back. So we got part 4 here, and I'm trying to do this in small incremental videos so you can see how I lined up everything. My center line from the motor bracket all the way to the guide holder. This is a Cobra guide holder. And what I did was I put, now I had to correct myself on this last time. This square tubing, and the correct part number is on the link on the very first video. It's 8161. That should be the part number for, nope, hold on, wrong again. Not 8161 because I'm looking at that one. 8151. That should be the square brass tube, It should be 8151. Look on the link, man, because I get it mixed up. Look on the link in the very first video because that's the correct K&S part number on there. So as you can see, I put it in between the Cobra guide holder and between these 8264 rails, and it's pretty much nice. Looks nice. How you got it right there. Gosh, sorry about the camera, guys. I know when I was doing this part of the video, which was part 3, showing you to do the rails, my big fat hand was in the way. I don't have really a great camera yet. I'm using my phone. I want to get another camera to make it better and more lighting. I'm using this incandescent, and there's a tiny little light above my camera, so bear with me. I will get better with videography equipment when I do go to the Beach Racer Challenge Series in Missouri. So I got some plans to get some more equipment. I have some equipment, but it's a little bit outdated. I think I need to upgrade a little, and things are a lot cheaper now. So as far as what I'm looking for, so here's the guide holder and everything. Now, going back to when we're talking about the body, now how you want to position your body is how I built this chassis. You can see right there where the axle will be in the rear of the car and where it would be in the front, you know, how far the rails go. And I put that black line there across because that's kind of like the end of the chassis on most of my builds I do. So you could kind of do something like that or just get an idea where you're at. Now, as you can see, now if I put this car, let me kind of center this. Now you see where the, line up the axle like so, you see where the guide is at. Gosh darn it, you cannot see crud because I suck at this right now. And you can see where I have the guide at inside the car.
A quick note, I did end up moving the guide further back to stick it more inside of the car.
When you have the car going down the track, you don't see a guide sticking out the front of the car, and then it may interfere with your bumper. So I have it tucked in to where it'll be more inside the car, and that's where I'm going to put this one at. And I'm pretty happy where that's at. I may move it back a little, I'm not sure. For now, I think that should be good with the guide I'm going to use. I may have to trim a little, I don't know. I may move it back a tiny bit, but I think I'm going to go with that right there. And if I need to make an adjustment, I'll make an adjustment on the body like this part right here. You know, if I'm putting the nut and it's in the way, I could trim that out. It's no big deal because you're going to have the hood covering it, so nobody's going to see that. So, that being said, we're going to solder the guide holder right here. And I hope, and this is what I mean about having a camera on a tripod. Is not the greatest thing, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder this. I'm going to do it this way so you could see it, because I know with the rails I was here and it was kind of blocking, and it's hard for me to look at the camera and trying to see what I'm doing at the same time. Because I don't have like a production facility. This is just a little iPhone 8 camera. So I'm going to fire up the soldering iron. I'm going to get my spectacles on. I got my solder. Now everything's flush right there. I got my flux. And that's where I want everything. And I'm going to solder here and here. So iron's ready. Solder's ready. I'm going to get my flux. I'm trying to make sure my damn hand and arm is not in the way. I'm going to put a little across this way and a little across here. Just like that. I'm going to grab the iron, clean the tip with my tip cleaner here. You want the iron to be clean. Don't want a dirty iron or the solder won't stick too well. Just like that. I'm going to do this left-handed. Well, I'll do it right-handed so it shouldn't be in the way. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm trying to look at the camera because I'm getting as close as I can with it. Pull the solder here, and I'll do this like so. So I'm going to get right here, and I'm going to make it sizzle, sizzle, and kind of let it heat, move a little back and forth. You're going to see that stuff melt. And again, leaving heat on there is going to let it flow too. You're going to put heat on there. You see now how nice it's flowing? Boom. There's that right there. You got that part. Now, I'm going to do the outer part. Get a little bit the other piece here to the rail. A little solder, like that. I'm not going to get too much because last time I did that, I was overdoing it. I'm going to do it like that. Put heat on this spot on the two parts that are joining. You see how that melts? I'm going to go all the way back here because I want to make sure this is all soldered good. There you go. And again, that could sand off because that's very a light amount, or you could use a copper, what's called the let me see, it removes solder. So example, here's one right here. It's called the clean wick. So say you want to remove, you don't like that, since some people are particular about stuff, you could always do this. Heat this up. See how it cleans that up? And you can remove it with the cleaning wick. And it kind of takes that off. And then you could eventually, you know, use whatchamacallit, some, you know, very light sandpaper, which will scrape it off. And I'll just do it some more to kind of give you an example. You can see how it cleans it up. The wick cleans it up. So you have that part all soldered right there. Not too shabby. Let me take a closer look. Looks like it did well, penetrated in there, and we'll check. Then we're going to do the other side. Put some here and here, like that, so. All right, and then I'll get, got my solder all caught here. I'm getting a little crazy. And I'm going to get some solder, oops, like so. And then come to the other side and solder that other side of that, you know, make sure that's, you know, flush. I'm just checking, I mean, it's on the other side here. Like so, just like that. There you go, soldered in. And then we're gonna go to, again, to the, let me clean this up. I'm gonna go to a little bit here and do the top part there. All right, go, you can see right there, and just heat it up. Just get solder in there, like so, and that's it. Oh, a little excess. So I mean, like I said, if you have a cleaning wick, you can just do this and remove the, just like that, excess off. That was a clump there. And there you go. And that's that. Now what I'm going to do is, I see how everything looks. It's going to be, it's a little bit warm here, but it's okay. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to look at it. And I want to see if it's gotten through here and here. And well, it looks not too bad. I think it'll be fine. You can, you know, obviously it's strong around and it's fine. And you pretty much soldered it. You can see where you soldered in there and stuff. And it's come out a little here and here. So that's good. You can barely see it, but it has penetrated through. And that's the guide holder right there. You got your guide holder all set along with I can put this back in place with the with everything done there. Now I've lost my spots here. Yep, I ain't gonna be able to do it. So, anyways, but so there you go with that. You can, I'll have to take all these out and reposition it again. Sometimes it happens. It'll fall back into place. I'll take these all out of the way. I'll put it back on there and line it up like I did. You know, with the part here and line it up. And that's pretty much that right there. And then what you could do is you lop these off with a diagram, you know, a Dremel, and you can trim them off, and you know it's all good. And your guide check too your guide and see what position it's in. And I'm going to get I'm using a 1/24 guide, commercial guide. I'm not using like the Slotting Plus one. You probably could if you put a piece of brass tube in here, and then, you know, it's possible. And then put the, like the 8129 I mentioned. If you could make the hole and slip it in there, and you can put a Slotting Plus guide. But here's the commercial guide, and that's what I'm going to be using. And so if I put the car, and I can kind of see where it's at. You know, if I need to adjust, I adjust. So here's the center line. So now you can see that that piece right there is, you know, kind of in the way. But I could trim all that off because that's not going to be shown. And maybe sticking out too much, but I could always adjust if I need to. Like move this back. It's, you know, not the end of the world. I think I'm going to leave it there, and I think I'll be fine. Let me take the guide off. Let me do this. I'll do that like that, and then this way it's hanging over, and then you can kind of see where it is on your rear wheels will be, and where it would stick out. It should be right about here. So it's sticking out a little. So what I could do is I could readjust this. I'm not, you know, not devastated by it. I could readjust it and fix what I've done. So I could heat this up and slide it back more, and it wouldn't be a big deal. You're just making a correction. That's what's nice about brass. You can make a correction on your own. So that's it for this part. Hope that kind of explained everything, and I'll continue with more parts of the video with adding the front axle and putting the body pads. That's it for now.